So one of the steps I needed to do when building the Sling Tsi on the elevator part is to shorten a bunch of rivets. So as you can see here, this is the top rivet is the original size of the 3.2 millimeter, and I need to shorten them just a little bit. You see, to the bottom size. I believe the original length of the rivet here is 8 millimeters, and I need to shorten them to 5.5 to 6 millimeters. So there are lots of ways to make the rivets shorter, and I actually tried a few different ways, and I'm gonna share my favorite. So there are 3 options I tried. First, you can obviously using a mandrel, a Dremel, or you can simply just file it away. The rivet isn't the size you need to remove isn't very big, and it just takes little, like 30 seconds to 1 minute to just kind of file them away. So that's the second way I tried. Or you can also use a flush cutter to just cut it to size, and then using the file to kind of just deburr the cut side. So my favorite is actually the flush cutter, the last option, because in my experience, this is the fastest and the most consistent way to get the job done. So in the first approach, using a Dremel, the thing I found was that it's really difficult to hold the rivet in place, hold it to be perfectly stable still, because the Dremel is a very powerful tool, and as the spinner as the wheel spins, it generates a lot of force, and every time I touch the rivet, it kind of just move the rivet, make it wiggle around. I'm sure there's a way to secure it, but I don't have the tools to do that job. So I try to use the Dremel to cut a few rivets. I mean, it works, but it's just very violent and unstable process. So I don't really like the option for using a Dremel. And on the second option, using a file, actually, it's fine. It's definitely more stable than the Dremel approach. It takes a little time, maybe 30 seconds to a minute for each rivet. The thing is, when I need to control the angle of the file pretty well, so the rivet gets filed down evenly. Otherwise, it's easy to create a angled surface on the butt of the rivet, and still not a big deal, but it's not very pleasant and it doesn't look very well. And my favorite approach is to use a flush cutter. So this is by far the most precise approach I've found, and also most time saving. So all you need to do is to put a mandrel through the rivet hole and cut around the rivet to the exact size you need. So the reason I want to put a mandrel in the rivet hole before cutting is so that the cutting force, the squeezing force, doesn't kind of crush the hole on the rivet. So putting a mandrel there helps to keep the shape of the rivet hole. And then after cutting, then I just kind of quickly run the rivet through the file couple times to kind of deburr, and then that's it. And so far this is the most time-saving and most consistent way for shortening a rivet.